What's up, kitchen table wizards? What's up, deck brewers from all over the world? Yes, I'm back with a new video, and you know what I'm going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about my home country, Belgium. And in Belgium, the most famous sport is cycling. So today we go cycling. Okay, that was just a small joke, really? A little bit of humor, a little bit of pleasantries, but from now on it's going to be serious business. I'm still here with my intern, Camille. She is working from home, but she is here, yes. And I gave her an assignment because the internship is almost over, and I gave her an assignment to look up some really good cards with cycling for my deck. Camille, what did you came up with?
Well, I really like Cycle of Life. It's like in The Lion King. Yeah, exactly. And the art on Recycle from Tempest is really good.
No, Camille. I think you misunderstood the question. You have to look at cycling. It's a mechanic, so it's in the little text box. When you see cycle in the little text box, that's what I'm really looking for.
Yes, I also did this, and my absolute favorite card is certainly... drumroll...
Ta-da! Okay, Camille, I will take it from here. I do have to give you some points, but let me give you some points for enthusiasm. Okay, what about 9 out of 10 for enthusiasm? Do you like that?
Yeah!
So for all you casual Magic fans out there, do give the video a like if you like my content. You can also subscribe to the channel if you want to be updated for my content. Even click the bell notification button. And if you maybe also want to participate in the raffle to win a €10 card market voucher, make sure also to put a comment in one of the videos. And at the end of this video, I will announce the winner of the voucher. Thanks Card Market for that. Okay, now back to the cycling, because that is what you came here for. Did you know that cycling is a mechanic from back in the Urza block, so really a long time ago? It was a time I played also a lot of Magic, and at the time of the recording of this video there are 187 cards with the cycling ability. So that's a lot of them. There was also a cycling team in Onslaught. I played against decks with Astral Slide, Lightning Rift and the Eternal Dragon, and that was a really popular card. It was really expensive back in the day, I remember. Now you can buy it for like 50 cents or something, so really cool card, and I've also put it in my deck, but I'll talk about that later. Now, after the Onslaught block, cycling was also reintroduced in the Alara block. It was also in the Amonkhet sets, and then recently it was also in Modern Horizons and in Ikoria. So as you notice, there is a lot of cycling around in Magic. And by popular demand, also because one of the fans asked for it, but most importantly, because I feel like doing it, I'm going to give you my casual take on the cycling. And I'm going to do this in the Jeskai colors. So Camille, keep the colors ready. We're going to do it in white, we're going to do it in red, and we're going to do it in blue. There. Now, usually my decks are around $25 to $40. This one is maybe a little bit more expensive, but I also put a cheaper version in it later at the end of the video in the maybe board. So definitely watch till the end if you also want to check out the budget version. So as you know by now, I like janky decks, I like tribal decks, and I also like the flavor of a deck. And by the flavor of a deck, I really mean the art on the cards, the theme, and it starts with the basic lands. Now this time I chosen my favorite lands from sets that had cycling included, and I'm actually also thinking about doing a video series about cool art on basic lands. So let me know in the comments if you like my idea, and then maybe if it's already made, you check out the link right here. The deck includes 27 lands, and for the basic lands I have chosen a beautiful mountain with a pyramid from Jonas de Roo. This is from the Amonkhet block, and you know, a little bit of a side note is this, for me, I think it's the only mountain card without a mountain on it. Strange, right? Now for the island I've chosen this beautiful lake from Ikoria by Elena Danner, really one of the upcoming artists at the moment. And Shippy gave us this mysterious plains from the Alara set. This could even be a desert card if you ask me. Now of course we have to include a lot of cycling lands, so 2 secluded steppes, 2 lonely sandbars and 2 forgotten caves will be my options for the deck. Then some dual lands or even some tri-lands, 2 irrigated farmlands and 3 raw grin triomes. Now I do want to have some lands that come into play untapped as well, so I included a blasted landscape and an ash barrens. And for some more color fixing, a cliff top retreat and a sulfur falls. I also included 1 support card for my mana base, and this is a Rogrin Crystal. Now the deck includes 34 cards which have the cycling ability, and we first start with some creatures. I play 7 creatures in the deck, which is not a lot, but it's a control deck, so we will focus more on the spells. To help with more mana fixing, I included 2 Eternal Dragons and a Shoreline Ranger. Small side note, with the island and plain cycling, you can also go and search for your irrigated farmland or your triome. Then I also play a more defensive Snare Tactician, and also I play a good value creature in the Curator of Mystery. I also included 1 Riel, the Everwise, and this card has an ability when you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, you draw that many cards. And the cool part is that the cycling ability has you discard your card, so Riel will draw you additional cards. And it will even get stronger for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. Next up we have Gavi Nest Warden. It's a 2/5 for 5 mana in the Jeskai colors, and you may pay 0 rather than to play the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn. And whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur cat token. Can we make a dinosaur cat token with Stormpy on it?
Yep.
Yes, that will probably look something like that. Now let's continue with some finishers and some cycling tricks. First, I included 2 Lightning Rifts. This enchantment allows us to pay 1 mana if we cycle a card, and then it deals 2 damage to any target. Of course, I had to include the Zenith Flare, one of my favorite cards from Ikoria. It's immensely strong, and I've already done 19 damage playing 1 Zenith Flare.
Fatality.
Oh yeah, it also gains you the equal amount of life than it deals damage, so nice card. I included 3 of them. From the Amonkhet block I included a Drake Haven. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1 mana, and if you do so, create a 2/2 blue Drake token with flying. And the cool part I like about this card is you could also do it as an instant, because the cycling ability, you can do it in your turn, but also in your opponent's turn. So if you do it at the end of your opponent's turn, you can immediately attack with all the drakes.
Yeah.
Next up is the Shark Typhoon. You can cycle it away for a flying shark, that's already great. It can act as a finisher on the board. And the best part of the card is you can play it and then go Shark Tornado. And don't worry, the card is a lot better than the movie. So this deck is a control deck, so defense is really important. We start with Astral Drift. It's a modern version of the Astral Slide, the original cycling card. And this one blinks creatures, so you can use it after your opponent started attacking and you remove those creatures from combat by cycling away some cards. I also included an old card called Angel Song. It can really be a blowout if your opponent is not expecting you have a fog effect in your deck. And Renewed Fate is also a nice defensive card in the deck that gains you some life. A control deck has to have some counter spells, so I also included 2 neutralizes. For the removal I included 1 Sweltering Suns, 2 Cast Outs and 2 Akroma's Vengeance. I also included this spell just because the guy on the picture shows how I feel when I kill my opponent with a Zenith Flare. I also think that the mana fixing allows it, and getting 5 life, drawing 5 cards and dealing 5 damage to any target is pretty good. Additional card draw is also always important in a control deck, so that's why I included 4 cards for card draw. I included 1 Boon of the Wish Giver. You can cycle it away for 1 mana and that's really important in the deck. Or very late in the game you can draw 4 cards with it. Hieroglyphic Illumination, I was never thinking I could say that correct for the first time, is a 4 mana instant that draws you 2 cards and you can cycle it away for 1 mana. With the new perspective you draw 3 cards and you can combo off to get a bunch of cards cycled at once, which is awesome for Lightning Rift, Drake Haven and of course the Zenith Flare. I play 1 additional card, which is called the Abandoned Sarcophagus. It's an artifact that costs 3 mana and you may cast non-land cards with cycling from your graveyard. Now if a card with cycling would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. So this was the deck list. Let's head into the power rankings. The deck is quite a powerful deck, but I think it's more for the advanced player, so I gave it complexity 8. It's a consistent deck that, because it is a control deck, you would play it more on defense than on offense. I personally think it's a fun deck to play, and also I think it's good value for money, especially if you check out the maybe board later. Next up, the metagame review. Now we're going to look how the deck does against other deck styles. The deck needs some time to set up, so against aggressive decks this is probably the most difficult matchup. When you have more time it does great, so against mid-range decks I gave it a 7, and also against control decks it's not that bad because you can do a lot of things at instant speed. Against combo decks I like it a little bit less, so that's why I gave it a 6. Now let's see if we can recycle this deck into a budget version. For this you need to remove Riel the Everwise, some Triomes, a Clifftop Retreat and a Sulphur Falls. Just add in an Improbable Alliance, some Mystic Monasteries, a Windscarred Crag and a Swiftwater Cliffs, and you will easily save $20, $30 to even $40. In the maybe board I will give you some other cards that go well with cycling. Omnious Seas is also one of my favorite cards from Ikoria, but I reserved a spot for it in a different deck, so I didn't include it in the cycling deck. Decree of Justice is also a great card in a control deck and could go also in this deck, but I really wanted to play the Shark Tornado card, so no angels, just flying sharks for me. Shadow of the Grave is a black card that goes great in a 5-color cycling deck, and it goes especially well with the new perspectives. So this was today's video about cycling. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give the video a like if you did so. You are still waiting for the announcement of the winner of the card market voucher. Well, here we go. Today's winner is, drumroll please, Nick Ebersol. Congratulations, Nick. Check out the link in the description how to contact me and I'll make sure that you get your €10 card market voucher. For all of you that are still here, thanks a lot for watching and as always, keep it casual. Bye.